Warm welcome to the Al and the Pussycat for this week, and it is great to have your company, and we know that because we get the letters in, so we know you watch it, we know you enjoy it, and all we try and do is, in a round way, just try and answer some of your queries. We're not experts in every field, that is for sure. Let's meet the panel now. School Registrar Tina Cartwright down the far end. Tina, lovely to see you. You look very sharp today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Obviously put a lot of time into it, yeah. And in the Emerald Isle, we have Entertainer of the Year, Janice Gray. Lovely to have you,
That'd
mate.
be nice. No. You know what? When I'll be Entertainer of the Year, posthumously.
Will you?
Yes.
Oh, well. Let's hope we're all alive to witness that happen. So there we are. That'll be good.
Me included.
Because I think it might be a long time coming. Okay, from the Property Group, a company I didn't know a lot about, but Sue Wells joins us. Sue, great to have you on the panel. First
Thank
time
you,
up.
Pete. Yeah, it's great to be here.
How's life in the fast lane?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Is it?
It's really,
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Nice to be back here too.
It is nice to have you back on CTV, it is. All right, let's cut to the chase, and we'll start right at the beginning here. We'll start with Sue. See, she's the new recruit, if you like. Stu from Amberley writes, and it's great, of course, we go Kaikoura now to Oamaru, so it's a big catchment area, and we love to hear from you wherever you are. Stu from Amberley asks, by now it must be painfully obvious that foreign drivers on our roads is a deadly cocktail killing innocent locals. Does any of the panellists have a solution? So we all know the problem. Have we got a solution, Sue?
Yes, Stu, I think you need to stop being a bigot. Next question.
Well, I don't. If I was actually somebody who'd been taken out of action by a foreign driver and killed, I would have some empathy for that family.
What a question, though. What a question to imply that the only issue about drivers on the roads is that they're foreign.
No, they are. The problem they're saying is with foreign drivers, is there a solution? Should they be, I think what they're trying to get at, should they have a course that they sit before they get a rental car or a camper van or a whatever?
Oh, you're talking about rental cars?
Well, that's basically
That's what
yeah,
Stu's
I
implying.
presume that's what
So
he's
that
implying.
any driver that comes to New Zealand, everyone's going to be tarred with the same brush, just as we, when we travel, are all classed as the same type of driver just because we're not from this country?
There has been a proliferation, though, of...
There's been a handful of cases, where drivers in New Zealand who've been tired, who haven't been well enough able to drive, have certainly caused an issue, particularly down through central Otago. But I really object to people who tar all people in this country. I don't care whether you're driving, whether you're doing anything. If you're foreign, that doesn't make you any different.
No, I think you may be reading a fraction into Stu's letter there. I think he's just generally concerned about people getting off a plane or a ferry or whatever, having never driven in New Zealand before.
And tired, worn out, jet
Janice.
lagged. Well, I rather agree with Stu. I'm a bit worried about it too. I don't need any New Zealander to be run over by the Koreans or the Chinese or anything like that. Now, that may sound bigoted to you, but I do read the newspaper, and yes, I do see the fact that our New Zealanders get killed, and the reasons that come forth is that he got the rental car as soon as he came off the plane, was tired, jet-lagged, and crossed the line and killed somebody.
Tina, have you ever driven in America or anywhere over there?
No, I've never driven,
yeah,
and I think that's the perhaps is one of the things people who are used to driving on a different side of the road can cause problems when they go to a new country, and I believe you'd have to, concentration would be the big thing, and it's often inattention that seems when these accidents happen, and it's not just people visiting the country, it's a moment's inattention. Or speed. Speed is the other thing.
When I got Stu's letter, it cast my mind back to, and I drove in Honolulu on several occasions, and on 2 or 3 occasions I could have killed someone or myself, just with the left-hand, right-hand driving.
I wasn't brave enough to drive in America.
And I think that's where Stu's coming from, that if they come from somewhere where it's a different form of driving, there can be consequences.
So what's the solution?
Well, that's exactly what Stu wants your help.
Well, I think Stu needs to probably just calm it a little bit.
Talk to the Transport Department, Stu.
Yeah, okay, all right.
If there's a particular black spot near Amberley,
I think he's
where there
general.
are issues.
What about
That's
that
a different
cyclist, with the truck turning left and everything like that?
don't.
That's just shocking. That's terrible. Terrible.
All right, Stu, well, we were a little divided on that, but I actually have some empathy of where you're coming from. That's to be fair. And he may have had some experience.
He may indeed.
Yeah,
he may indeed.
May be the reason.
Solution, age of drivers, I don't know whether that's terribly relevant, but as with the rental car companies, is that I assume that's put into place as well. You haven't got the young. Yeah. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't differentiate. That's young. No, sorry.
You've stirred
Take
it up
back.
with nothing
Yeah.
else, Stu. Okay, let's go now to Sue from Bromley, and this is, by crikey, this is important. Recently, I had to visit outpatients late on a Saturday night. I was disgusted at the state and the behaviour of the drunken slobs inside. Our professional health employees don't deserve the treatment I witnessed that night. No other workplace would tolerate it. Okay, who's had an experience there? We'll start with Tina.
Haven't had an experience, but I have heard about it. I think the weekends are a very busy time for accident and emergency, and throughout the day, particularly with sport injuries and things like that. And then they move on into the night with
Drunks.
accidents and drunks.
You
And,
do hear stories, though, that are sort of horror stories, aren't they? About, if they're not seen straight away, they perform. I mean, these are respected health professionals we're talking about in there,
That's
aren't we?
exactly right. So the thing is that if I ever have a problem after hours, I don't go to A&E, I go to Pegasus Health in Beeley Ave, the
Right.
after hours. Absolutely fantastic staff there. You do have to pay, but that's all right.
Did they not have similar problems in there?
No,
No.
no.
Sue, you
no.
had an experience through that or not?
Yeah, I have. I had, just in the last 12 months, my son decided that he'd take the dog for a walk at night on his longboard, his, not the dog's, and came home with his wrist going in 3 different directions. So he ended up at,
A&E?
yeah, at about 11 o'clock it was a weeknight. And what staggered me was not just the drunks that were there, because they were there even then, people who were using A&E as their local doctor's office.
Oh.
And I couldn't, I mean, there was a family there with a child. The child would have been maybe 4. 11:30 at night, and mum's stoking her up on lemonade and biscuits. And I thought, oh my, but
So they deserve a medal, the people that work in there,
oh
don't they?
man, I just think the staff at the hospital are phenomenal.
Yes.
They deserve our respect.
Yes.
And if you think about the money that this community and this country spends
Yes.
on cleaning up after people who've drunk too much at the weekends, we
Yes.
just miss opportunities to fix it all the time.
Because we used to respect the health professionals, didn't we? I was in awe of them, to be
Yes.
honest. I thought they were wonderful,
If the
wonderful,
doctor said
dedicated
something,
people.
you did
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
I think that they have volunteers that also work in A&E
Right.
who must do a fabulous job as well. That just sitting and chatting with people and.
And
All
it'll
right.
be much more fun in the next little while too, because of course I think it's just happened that the parking's
Yeah,
all
we're going to
changing
come on to
there
the
too.
parking at the hospital
My
as well.
mum's already anxious
Right,
about
when
that.
we come back, we will do that. But hey, just get a grip. If you're able to avail yourself of that service at the hospital, don't put the boot in. We'll be back in just a moment with more of your views and letters. Welcome back, and I can tell you that the potpourri of questions continues, and it's a real mixed bag. Just before we went to the break, we were talking about outpatients at our public hospital. Sue touched on the fact that the parking is going to be an absolute nightmare from about now on. Any idea for how long, Sue?
Wouldn't have a clue.
No, it's
No,
big works,
I mean,
isn't it?
Oh, huge. When you think about the scale of the redevelopment, it's just enormous. But I think, from my perspective, it's not that it's going to be a nightmare. I'm not going into it with that mindset. It's going to be very different.
Right.
And
So-
I think we all just have to, next time you go there, expect that, plan for it, get on the internet, find out what to do, put a little bit more time in, and it should be fine.
Now, your mum's a little bit uptight about it.
She is a little.
Yeah.
She's a Betty.
Does she have to go there?
Yes, she does. November the 17th, Mother, is that right? She's got to have her eyes done.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and apparently, how's this? 86, a good 86, so the doctor says.
Fantastic.
She's getting her eyes done. She's going to have, for the first time in her life, the ability to see without glasses.
Fantastic.
My mother had the same thing. It's
Really?
just wonderful.
Fantastic.
I'm really, really worried she's going to actually take one look at Dad, and that'll be the end of a beautiful marriage.
Yeah,
She
I've
went
always just been
snorkeling so afterwards,
Really?
and just to be able to snorkel without, having worn glasses virtually all her life, to be able to put on and go snorkeling. It was so
Fantastic.
exciting. Yeah.
Well, last week we had a question about mammograms and the fear. I have a real fear over laser treatment on it because I've only got one pair of eyes and I'd hate somebody
I've
to
had
go
it
wrong.
done.
Yeah. Have you?
I actually had it done
Oh,
twice.
this is opening up a whole
Yeah,
can.
oh, it's brilliant.
How quick were you
Oh, you've
writing
had the
it?
laser done, but not the
Cataracts.
The cataracts.
No.
Has your mother had the cataracts
She's
done?
had cataracts.
And your mother's having the cataracts done?
Yep.
Okay, there is a difference, isn't there?
Not much,
Oh,
but it's still the same.
I'm like Pete. I've worn
Yeah.
glasses since
Yeah.
I was about 6, and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I've had it done.
Is it a justifiable fear to have or not?
No, it's quite, and you know, you sort of get that clockwork orange thing going through your head, don't
Right,
you? But
yeah.
it's not like that.
So
at all.
you've had yours done.
Yes,
Sorry
I
to
have.
divert from this at all, but we're okay.
Yeah.
How quick was it? Painless? It was.
It felt a little bit like you've got a little bit of grit in your eye, but no more painful than that. And when you wake up, or you don't even really go to sleep, you're just kind of a bit
Floaty.
tonicked.
Yep.
The next morning, or even that day, you can see. It's just extraordinary.
And do you have to take some precautions with that afterwards, or what?
Little eye drops just for a little bit.
But out in the sun, or?
No. I found it life-changing.
Oh, Tina, has it convinced you?
Well, I've worn contacts for a long time, and apparently you have to leave your contacts out for about 6 weeks while the shape of your eye reverts back. And then, so the little bit of vanity, wearing glasses for 6 weeks, that's another reason to
Are you
putting it
short
off.
or long sighted?
Short.
Okay, so the other thing to think about then is as you get older, I've discovered that there's a little muscle in behind your eyeball which goes the way of all good muscles. It stretches. So,
Really?
Yeah, it does. It stretches as you get
thought
older.
they shrank it,
And that's why you get more long-sighted as you get older. So I'm now at the point of having had my short-sighted astigmatism corrected. Now I need reading glasses.
Oh, yes.
It's
Yes. I've got 2 pairs of glasses at the television set, one for watching the television, one for reading the program. Amazing, Grace. But the thing is, I went to Specsavers. I found them absolutely fantastic. If you've got any doubt about your eyes, go to Specsavers, show them your AA membership, and boom, they do a full test on you. Glaucoma, need, everything.
Yeah.
It does have
Fantastic.
You wouldn't have
bonuses.
laser treatment, though, Janice?
No, I don't need laser treatment at the moment. My eyes are good and I've got my glasses and I like wearing glasses. It gives me sort of an authority.
Somebody said to me the other day, wearing glasses is a sign of affluence. I thought, well, I'll keep them on.
Yes,
That's fine.
yes,
It's
yes.
not true. Okay,
No.
let's get to some meatier subjects.
Right.
So, this one is tricky. My 16-year-old daughter became pregnant, and the boy responsible didn't want a bar of any responsibility. Even worse, nor did his parents. I'm a single parent struggling to make ends meet. God knows how we will manage with the addition to my household. Is there no redress I can take to force the other side to front up? And that's from Sarah in St Albans. So it's not an area that I'm particularly strong on or know too much about it. Who puts their hand up first? Janice?
I will.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, what you do is you a paternity suit. You have a blood test to make sure that he's the father, and then you sue him for support.
I don't think there's any doubt in Sarah's letter that he is the father.
That's
He just
not
walked.
going to stand up in a court of law.
No.
He's got to have, they've got to get blood or a hair. You know, what do they do in detective novels? They get a follicle, they take a glass from which you've drunk to get the DNA and make sure that he's the father, and then you sue him for maintenance
So let's
until
follow
the
this
child
on
is
for
16.
Sarah. This girl's 16. Let's follow
Yes.
the story on. So
Yes.
he is the father. Now, he
Right.
doesn't want to know a bar of it.
He's
What
got to
action
be
can you
made to
take?
be responsible for his action.
Where's the parents in this?
They want to
boy's
avoid
parents,
it,
yeah.
denying.
Well, that's not satisfactory, is it,
No,
for
it
Sarah?
isn't, but it's not their fault, it's his fault. He's
but
the one
I-
that
I-
impregnated the
I'm
16-year-old.
assuming he's probably only about 16 as well. So
Well, he's got a little lesson to learn early in life, hasn't he, dear?
Sarah, sorry, Tina. I'm thinking about Sarah in St Albans. It's written a letter.
We spoke about sex education a few programs ago, and obviously that seems to have slipped through the gaps with this young couple. Well, I guess the horse is
the result
bolted,
is
and
there.
pass.
Sue.
Well, IRD will clobber the father of the baby.
Right.
You know, so what she needs to do is,
We're assuming he's earning.
well, he's going to be earning at some point.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know,
okay.
19 years of child is coming their way.
Yes.
The parents, no liability. Think, though, a little bit more long term about the welfare of that child.
Yes.
You can think about money. You can think about support. What you're not thinking about in your letter from St Albans, Sarah, is that your grandbaby at some point is going to want to know the other side of their familial background. And it would be sensible for you to try to ensure that there is a line of communication there so that that can happen, because that kid needs two strands of that family coming together for its emotional well-being. I wish you luck as a grandparent and as a mother going through a very hard time.
Are you a grandparent?
No.
Well, what did you say as a grandparent? Oh, that's okay.
The mother of the pregnant girl is going to be the grandmother.
All right, now, what I want to say there is, I've forgotten.
You were going to say you thought my advice was very sensible and mature, and how surprised you were.
Yeah. Let's take a break so that Janice can regroup. Yeah, she can regroup and get her thoughts straight. We'll be back for the last time in this week's Elle the Pussycat. Welcome back, Tina, Janice and Sue are all with us, and well, Janice, I think, has got her marbles back in a line at this stage, so we will move on.
Well, you see, it was about sex, Pete. It was about sex.
We now go down to Ashburton, where we talk to Sonia. Can the panel give me their thoughts on a possible change to the New Zealand flag? Prime Minister Key has indicated we are going to be asked in a referendum to have some input. Right, the flag. It has been an issue, and it looks like with the national government getting back in, they're going to raise it again, so it'll be a referendum. I find it confusing with Australia. That's just my personal opinion, and I don't. There's so many RSA sides to it. There's all kinds of sides. Tina, thought on a flag?
I am quite liking what's been in the newspaper recently. Wouldn't worry me if we got rid of the Union Jack, that's what I'm, and I quite like the blue and the red and the white that's coming through. Not so sure that the black and white and the fern, we get a lot of that on our sports uniforms and those sorts of things, so yeah.
Janice,
Keep the flag. Keep the flag the way it is.
Why?
Our men have fought under that flag in Korean War, First World War, Second World War, Vietnam. Leave the flag as it bloody well is.
The argument to that, of course, is they actually fought for the motherland, didn't they, in those days? They didn't actually fight for New Zealand's freedom.
They fought under our flag.
Yeah, I know.
It was our flag on the end of their
Whose scrap was
planet.
it? Yeah.
It wasn't ours.
No, that's right.
But we sent men to it, and it looks like we're going to send men to the Middle East too.
Okay.
That's going to be wonderful, isn't it?
Sue, do you have a view one way or t'other on the flag?
I hadn't actually really thought about the issue that Janice has just raised. I think that is a very fair point. I don't like the black flag. To me, it's either a pirate ship or fly spray. Yeah. I do like the silver fern, and I think if we could combine the Union Jack, perhaps in the background, with the silver fern, and maybe our 4 stars for New Zealand, then that to me would seem like a really good thing. I do think the flag as it stands could be modernised a little bit, but I would like to keep what is there and perhaps refresh that rather than throw it away completely.
I mean, if you look at a great example is Canada, I mean, that maple leaf just tells you everything, doesn't it? I presume that was part of the reason with having the fern to do the same thing.
Yes, but the fern has been usurped by the All Blacks, mate. We have no access to the fern, Mr. Key. Please take note. Janice is telling you, no fern, Mr. Key.
Has it been trademarked?
Well, the thing is that you can't use it because it's associated with the All Blacks, All Black football team, Susie. Mr. Key, leave the flag as it is. You've got bigger problems.
Do we need the Union Jack still on the flag?
I want
in this
it there.
world? No, I know you do, but it's other people as well, Janice. Not all about you.
Who cares?
Yeah, I agree with those ladies at Parklands. Yeah, you do give me a hard time.
I don't want to make it hard
Is
for
it
you.
time that the Union Jack went, Sue? You know, we've grown up, but we're an independent country.
No. We are not a republic.
No.
If we were a republic, then it would be time to part company with the Union Jack.
Right. My other gripe is I don't like Air New Zealand having painted their planes with the black and the silver fern on it.
Don't fly on them then.
You'll probably find that it's actually warmer inside the plane because of
It's black.
Okay. I remember the late, oh no, he's not late, but the ex-Prime Minister Jim Bolger telling me once at a lunch that we went to that every time John Walker ran in Europe with the black singlet and the silver fern on, butter sales went through the roof. Because if you remember, the packet of butter had the fern on it. So there's a marketing side to it, Janice, as well as just getting stroppy about the fact we fought for it. It's gone awfully quiet, hasn't we? Hey, Parklands, I'm 1-up. I'm 1-0. Okay, there we are. All right, but we won't be able to shirk the issue because it sounds like we are going to have a referendum on it. So, Janice, we know your view. Others probably a little bit more flexible, I'd like to think, than Janice. I just thought I'd mention it. Okay. Right. Michael from Kaiapoi writes, 40 years ago I was called up for compulsory military service. I was reluctant to have to go, but after 3 months in the army I came out a much more rounded and disciplined young man. Given the mess the world is in and the disrespect a lot of young men show to their elders, why not bring back CNT? Now, I was lucky enough to dodge the bullet, I suppose, but I don't know. It would have been interesting if I had been called up. They were the marble days. My birthday was the 19th, and 18 and 20 came up, so I missed. Don't know. I'd have been a different person, I'm sure, if I'd gone in. Yeah.
Wow. Is that how it worked?
That's how it worked in those days.
It was like,
yeah, it was
like
a marble draw, lotto.
Like poor man's lotto.
Absolutely.
Yeah, congratulations, you lost.
Yeah, and everyone was chuffed.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of people didn't. I mean, Janice, you were around in the CMT times.
Yes, yes, compulsory military training.
Yep.
And of course they had the cadet scheme when I went to school.
Yes.
Cadet scheme, you'd see them marching around in their little khaki uniform and everything like that. The thing is, compulsory military training, the expense, how are we going to pay for it?
Well, I don't know that
Has
answer.
Jerry Matapaeri got an idea on that?
Yeah, it is a cost, there's no two ways about it.
Definitely.
Do you think it was probably dropped for that reason, Janice?
I don't know.
Funding
I don't
or-
know.
Don't know.
I don't know. But the thing is, what I do notice from reading in the newspaper is that they've got these lovely little courses that people can go
Boot
to. For,
camps.
yeah, boot camp. I think that's admirable. Gives them an idea of what the world is really about, and it's really not all about them.
Interesting stat that came out of CMT, I remember reading it because I remember all the trivial stuff, 70% went on to be in the army, be it either as a regular or a
Yes.
territorial.
Yes.
So they must have got something out of it, Sue,
Yes.
mustn't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, when I was a 19-year-old, 20-year-old girl, I'd have been happy to be in the army.
Right.
Yes.
Probably
And
for wrong
what
reasons. Well, no, I wasn't. But I was just saying I probably would have been happy to, but I
And
didn't.
the army probably would have been happy to have you too, Sue.
Yeah, no.
Look on the bright side.
Susie, like I know Susie. Oh.
It's a way, don't worry.
I don't
The
think it would
drugs are
suit
just
everybody.
wearing off. That's what Janice said. It's okay. CMT, any idea? Do you think it gives fibre to people, Tina, or not?
I see merit in going into the army and some of the routines and things that are instilled in training. And I just wonder if they up the ante as far as people volunteering, like Sue, if there's an interest there, make it easy for people to go and do 3 months.
Well, there's the territorial.
I didn't volunteer. I just thought about it at length.
You would have,
I
yes,
would have.
probably.
It was the
Yeah, you'd been
uniforms.
called.
The territorials are available, you know, if you do have a bent in that direction, you can try out by joining the territorials.
And you can be recruited. I mean, the armed forces are recruiting
Absolutely,
all the
yeah.
time.
And I must say that if when you move around the traps, it's amazing how sought after people who have been in the army and been trained, be they chefs or whatever.
Yes.
It's a highly sought after qualification, isn't it? So it must be doing some good.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's-
Pete, in your time, how long did you, if your marble came up, how
you went
long?
into camp for 3 months and then you were committed to 2 further camps per year. So that was your annual holidays.
For how long?
5 years, I think. Yes, it was a long commitment.
It's quite
yeah.
significant.
It was, yeah, and
Was it that long?
You could get out of it quite easily. I mean, if you're at
Yes.
university and doing study or whatever.
And if you've got
yeah.
asthma, you could
Yeah, or flat
claim-
feet.
Or flat feet, yeah.
Or a goiter.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's just an interesting thought. I don't know. I do appreciate your comments from there, Michael.
It's
from
a good
Clyde.
discipline, but who's going to pay for it?
Correct. I hadn't thought of the cost aspect. Well done, Janice, for
Thank you.
nailing it. You
Thank
nailed it. Time to go on that winning note for Janice Gray. We'll be back next week with another Elder Pussycat. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.